Is it realistic to say that believers stand out as bright lights in the world today? As followers of Christ, do we know what it looks like to trust God and to depend on Him for our daily needs? Does our walk, our actions speak to whose we say we are? What is our mission as believers?
Action.
Invisible lady is what she called. She's in the race for the long haul. Giving up feels like letting go. Just ride along and go with the flow. Hope for understanding and personal growth too. For her, for them, and others to do. A little creativity and fun along the way. Let's get this lesson started by ceasing to pray. A mission can be defined as tasks or goals we want to accomplish, whether it's a church ministry or business. Merriam-Webster online says that mission as, and I quote, a ministry may be commissioned by a religious organization to propagate its faith or to carry on humanitarian work, end quote. Propagate means to grow, publicize, spread, or circulate. In our lesson today, Christ appointed followers, the disciples, to spread the word, heal sicknesses and diseases. Ears of Compassion is a mental health ministry at our church. We're learning about the different mental health challenges like depression, schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar, anxiety, and loneliness. We read books, watch videos, have discussions, perform listening exercises, make presentations on mental health issues in our preparation to take it to the next level, which will be to provide a listening ear to those in need or those that need someone to listen to them. This is our mission. Mission recruits or disciples were tasked with seeking the lost sheep of Israel, which may have included unbelievers, shady tax collectors, prostitutes, hypocrites, and those who say they were believers but whose actions showed something else. Some of Jesus' disciples were taken from, this is taken from truth.com, which says, Matthew was 31 years old, married, and had 4 children. He was a financial representative of the disciples. Simon the Zealot was 28 years old. He was a fiery agitator and spoke without thinking. Judas Iscariot was 30 years old. He was the only son of wealthy Jewish parents. When he was recruited to be one of Jesus' disciples, he was looking for employment. He also later on betrayed Jesus. Simon Peter was 30 years old when he became a disciple. He was married and had 3 children. Andrew was his brother, and Zebedee was their father. Andrew was a year older than Jesus, the head apostle, and the oldest apostle. James was 30 years old when he became an apostle. He was married and had 4 children. He was a public speaker. John was 24 years old when he became an apostle. He was not married and was a fisherman and the personal aide of Jesus. Philip was 27 years old when he became an apostle. He was married and didn't have any children. He was the type of person who had to see things for himself. Google says that Bartholomew, and I quote, he was introduced to Christ through St. Philip and is also known as Nathanael of Cana of Galilee. Bartholomew may have been known for the many miracles he performed that related to the weight of objects. Thomas was 29 years old. He had a very analytical mind and was courageous. Thomas was known to be a doubter because he had refused to believe Jesus had risen from the dead and had appeared to 10 other apostles. He wanted to see and feel the wounds Jesus received on the cross. Jesus' disciples, so human and ordinary, people appointed to do great things. In our lesson, we learned or was reminded that missions are important tasks or assignments carried out for religious reasons. How is knowing, understanding, and believing in the mission of Jesus and the disciples going to impact our spiritual and personal growth? What drives us daily to keep our faith and integrity intact? How will our faith survive during the struggles we face in our everyday lives with relationships, losses, loneliness, negative thoughts, addictions, hate, injustices, disappointments, illnesses, misunderstandings, and forgiveness? As Christ showed compassion for others, why can't we? Do we try to encourage and influence people positively? Are we trustworthy and dependable? Do we have integrity? Do we forgive? Do we put what we learn from God's inspired word about loving God and others into action? Are we consistent in our effort to be more loving, embrace morals, increase our faith and hope? Jesus' disciples and present-day believers, so human and ordinary, people appointed to do great things.